Shalom, 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 my brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel. Happy Sabbath to you. I'm your brother Ananias for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel, and it's an honor, privilege, as always, to be able to come before you each and every day, that I'm blessed with the opportunity to do so, but to edify and uplift the brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel, who would be today the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Those would be the chosen people of the Most High God, who are created to serve, to fulfill the needs and wants of the Most High, But like I said, it's an honor and privilege to come before you. And before we get started, we want to give all honor, glory, praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being his Son, who the world calls Christ, and through his strength, sacrifice, and example, we are all able to be here today. So we want to give praise where praise is due. But I want to give a special shout out to you brothers and sisters that's tuning in. Also to the brothers and sisters that will tune in later on down the road, who are walking in the way, being repentant Israelites, striving each and every day to keep these commandments. All praises to you. Keep enduring, keep pushing in this fight, in this walk, because we need you just like the nation needs you. But like I said, today's class is going to be dealing with, we're asking a question to the sisters, the daughters of Zion, about the things that we do or the things that go on. Did you know that these different things are going on? When it comes down to the beauty industry, do you know what true beauty is? Do you know why you do the things that you do? And fellas, if you watching, do you know that it's up to you to step in and play your role, play your part, to demand our sisters to stay in a position to where they fulfill the true role of being beautiful? You know what I'm saying? Because our sisters have been bamboozled, beguiled, tricked to thinking that the images that they see on these beauty supply stores or in these magazines or on the TV is a model of true beauty, but it's anything but that. And we're going to get into some interesting facts, videos, and scriptures to support what I'm talking about, because our people need to hear the truth. And we're going to start off with the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. Let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. And it reads, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope." So the things that are written in the scriptures were written for one particular reason: to give us hope, to give us understanding, not just to read over like it's a fairy tale book or a damn novel. It's a book of history, a book of things that explains the beginning, the middle, or the present, and the future. A book of prophecy, a book of life, a book of our history as a people. And the things that go on today are a direct correlation as to what happened or transpired throughout history, throughout time, throughout the Bible. So from there, let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 7. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 11, verse 7. Because it stated before, we got to read the scriptures to find out what happened so that we can have comfort, understanding, clarity. But this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 11, verse 7. And it says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke." So we have to give understanding, have to seek understanding first in order to correct or rebuke anything that's in error. You know what I'm saying? So today's topic, we're going to be dealing with correcting the sisters as far as understanding the wickedness that's going on that they don't even realize is going on. Mainly to the sisters who flock to the beauty supply stores to buy these wigs and weaves, not truly understanding what's going on behind the scenes. These other nations, book I read a lot is, it was written a while ago. It's called The Miseducation of the Negro. And one of the chapters in there goes into how we as a people aspire to be like the other nations so bad that we are ashamed to push a cart, to sell hot dogs or to sell fruit, things of that nature. But the foreigners, so-called foreigners, who come from other countries, they come over here and they are not proud to, or not too proud to push those carts, or they're not involved in trying to learn the stock market or the trades. What they do is they come over these come over this country and study us, the Israelites. They study us because they have found that we are the most consuming nation of people. We consume, we buy all the time. So when they came over here, their main objective was to learn what we do, what we love, and cater to that. And in the process, selling us things that we don't need in order for us to be happy. So they come over here and they realize, hey, they love trying to make themselves beautiful, which is shocking to them because they look at us as beautiful without adding anything to it. But the media, the TV, anything that you can think of, the music has plagued our minds as a nation to thinking that we are below everybody, you know, and our sisters don't hold themselves in a high standard. Therefore, they flock to these beauty supply stores week in and week out, especially today, breaking the Sabbath to go buy a false image of beauty to somehow beautify themselves. They go break the Sabbath to do what? To try to live in a false sense of beauty, in an imitation of life. I should have called this Imitation of Life Part 2 or 3 because I did a video on it a while back on a Savory Sunday. But nonetheless, from there, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 6. Because our sisters don't truly understand what's going on. They just follow the ways of this world, and they don't want nobody to tell them anything other than what they want to do. They say, I'm free to live, free to do what I want to do. Why can't I buy this? Why can't I buy that? The question you should be asking is, why do you want to buy these things? Why do you want to overcharge, overspend your accounts, spend up your money to go buy a false sense of beauty? You know, why is that? They don't answer these things. They just do these things because they've been trained. It's been passed down, handed down from generation to generation. Just like our people celebrating these wicked holidays. They have no understanding as to why they do these things. They just do it because it's been taught to them and passed down. But today we're going to give you some knowledge. So hopefully the more you know, the better choices you make. So let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 6. So we giving you understanding first before we can correct the situation. Because if you don't know what's going on, you won't accept the correction. So we have to put these things out there. So what are we correcting? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 6. And it reads, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. So our leaders, even our own parents, have led us astray. They have caused us to be lost. And like I say, a lot of times, think about this when you're watching these movies or when you're talking to your friends. A lot of people say they're going out into the world to find themselves. That makes no sense. Why do you leave the house after being in the house, being educated, so-called educated for 18 years of your life, to go out into the world to find yourself? That's backwards. You should never leave your house not knowing who you are or what your goal is going out into the world. That's asinine. That's backwards, you know. But the Lord said our pastors, our leaders, our shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. We used to be at the top from a big mountain. Now we didn't come to a hill where everybody can just run over us. You know what I'm saying? When you a mountain, it's hard for people to get to the top. They climbing, they losing their life trying to get there. But we as a nation of people have fallen to the point we even became a hill. People jump over hills with their bikes. You know, you ain't jumping no mountain on a bike, but a hill, you can do that. And that's how far we have fallen as a nation of people. And stick with me because I'm going somewhere with this. So from there, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 11. Ezekiel 37 and 11. Because we lost sheep, you know, so we have to be found and give an understanding to even let our people know that we are lost. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 11, and it reads, then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. So when you listen to that story or that scripture when it's talking about the valley of the dry bones, that's talking about the whole house of Israel. So if you never heard that before, it's talking about the house or the nation of Israel. We are those dry bones in that valley of death, or the valley of dry bones. But nonetheless, it says that we are lost. It said we have, our hope is lost. We are cut off from our part. So we lost as a people and our hope is gone, meaning we don't know what true beauty is. We don't know what true glory is. We don't know what it is to be a great nation in these last days. All these things have been cut off from us. We lack in these departments. So from there, let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and 6. Classic precept that we bring out all the time, but it must be brung out for our people to understand. Bear with me, let me get the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, and it reads, "My people are destroyed." When we got to flock to these stores to be to buy instead of to buy wigs and weaves in order to be accepted in society. When we got to flock to these stores in order to get jobs, to be what you call news anchors, or be in corporate America, you got to wear your hair a certain way, you know, just like you see in this picture. A lot of these sisters, Black and Latino, flocking to these stores to get their hair straightened, permed out, so they can be in those positions to be on the TV screen, you know. The brothers shaving their beards off to look corporate, you know. Check that out. All these sisters, some might be wearing their hair, but they straightening it out. They putting perms and relaxers in their hair in order to wear it, to get on TV. You have very few sisters that are on TV that actually wear their own hair. They'll flock to these so-called beauty supply store, like this sister right here. She was told that she had to straighten her hair. Said her natural hair was unprofessional. So a lot of sisters will flock to these stores or damage their hair unknowingly just to get a job, to be oppressed. You'll kill yourself, damage yourself just to be oppressed. And that's why we're doing these classes, because our people don't know we lost sheep, lost without hope. We figure, hey, we know we all got to work, but we'll do whatever to get these jobs, just to pay bills, just to stay broke, just to stay on the bottom of society, just to fit in. Our people will do whatever, whenever, just to make it. But coming back into this truth, you need to be saying that about keeping these laws. You're going to do whatever for the Lord. When you say keep these commandments, you're going to do them regardless of what your job say or how your family screw their face up. You're going to keep these commandments. That's how you got to be for the Lord. Not for the oppressor, but for the Most High. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. But going back to what I was reading, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee." This is the Lord speaking. Our people reject knowledge. Even us brothers, you know what I'm saying, throughout time, you know, reading the warning on the side of products, we still decide to intake on it. You know, do a whole lot of wickedness. They say on the side of the alcohol bottle, these things can do this and do that. We still drinking it. But these things are temporary. But sisters don't understand truly that buying these wigs and weaves, they don't understand the true destruction or damage that is caused by you doing these things. Not only are you misleading the people when you do these things, you pass those things down to the generation of your daughters or sisters that are under you. They watch you and you pass these things down unknowingly. Just like back in the day, sisters wearing pants before they came in the truth, and even some that are in the truth, so-called in the truth, putting on pants, and you showing your daughters to put on pants. They watch you. You are their first example of education, or as a teacher. They learn from you. You go out into the world, they see you in the pants, they say it's okay. They see you buying wigs and weaves, they say it's okay to do so. We trying to come back to who we are as a people. We can't afford to go down that pipeline anymore. That pipeline is the same thing as the school to prison pipeline. It's nothing but destruction involved with it. But the Lord said that we are destroyed as a people. not knowing what's going on. And I'm going to show you a quick video that our sisters probably don't know. And if you do know and you continue to go on doing these things anyway, you're a lost cause. You truly are one of those lost sheep that the Most High is talking about, that will have this information and reject it and continue to go down that path of destruction. So I'm going to show you one about hair dye. Let me show you that right quick. Because a lot of sisters love to dye their hair. For what reason, I have no idea. Trying to be unique when you being like everybody else, that's not unique. You're a follower of wickedness. The Lord said, don't follow a multitude to do evil. But I'm going to bring this out anyway.
Can get the itch to change it up from time to time. But our next guest did just that, and she got a different itch than she was ever expecting. The price of beauty can often blow up your wallet, but for one unlucky Texan named Shamise, it also blew up her face. After recently hitting up the salon for a hair color change, Shamise quickly began to realize her face was swelling beyond recognition from an allergic reaction. She was rushed to the hospital after having trouble breathing. But what ingredient caused her face to get puffy so fast? And should pictures of that beauty treatment be tattooed on your brain to make sure it doesn't happen to you?
So a lot of sisters watching this, they'll be like, that never happened to me. I'm not allergic to anything. The point of the matter is, why put something in your head that's going to cause that type of reaction? Possibly, because you don't know what they put in them chemicals. Why you saying I'm not allergic to anything? It's never happened to me before. And you don't know what they putting in these products. You just putting it in because somebody told you that this would do that to your hair. If you wanted to flow long or you wanted to be shiny, smooth, soft, put this in your hair. That's exactly what this sister did, not knowing what the product had in it. So she put it in her head and this happened. So I encourage you sisters to not put this junk in your head, because no male is telling you to do these things. You're doing it to please yourself or to please other women. No male is telling you to put that mess in your head. Understand that. But I'm going to keep playing the video.
Shamise now joins us. And Shamise, you actually were able to deduce the ingredient that caused this. Is that right?
Yes, it's PPD. And I had a similar allergic reaction in 2014 is when I learned that I'm allergic to this PPD that's in a lot of dark hair color dyes. And I explained that I was allergic to this and I was lied to and had this nightmare happen to me.
So she was lied to. Just like reading on the back of the product when they tell you the ingredients. They're not going to tell you truthfully what's in it. Why? Because they want you to buy it. If it told you it had a damn a cow nut in it, would you buy it? You'll look at it sideways. But if they use a big term to cover it up, you'll skip right over. Think about that. They're going to constantly lie. That's why the Lord tell you in Sirach, never to trust your enemies. I think that's Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemies.
Someone said, no, there's no PPD in this. You're good to go.
Yeah, because I was told that the henna was supposed to be chemical-free and all natural, but it wasn't.
Now, just going with what she's saying, we don't own any products. We don't own these dyes and relaxers as a nation of people. So who do you think she went to ask about these things? She went to those beauty supply stores that we talking about, where Mr. Lee or Mr. Chen is in there, or Abdul, and asking them, hey, I'm not supposed to touch PPD. What do you think they're going to say? Oh, yeah, you can't buy that product. No, they're going to say, no, that's not enough. Just so you'll buy the product. They don't give a damn about your well-being. They just want to make the sale. Understand that.
I think this highlights something for anyone watching. A lot of times you may have a customer come in, whether they're getting their hair dyed or they're talking about food or anything else, and the customer may say, hey, are there any nuts in this? Or is there any PPD in this? And I think the temptation sometimes is, no, it's not in there. But we're talking about life-threatening reactions.
You see that? He just confirmed it. Go ahead.
Actions here. And all too often I've seen this where it's just like, no, I don't think that's in there. And it's just not that big of a deal. But these reactions, that one in particular, with as swollen as your face was, we start worrying in medicine of your airway. and inability to breathe, these can become so life-threatening so quickly. I'm troubled that you specifically asked for a product without this in it, and that's what they use. I'm deeply troubled. After this, did you go back to the place and say, look, you can't do this?
Well, I sent her a very detailed email and included all of the pictures that you guys show there, and I haven't heard from her.
Do you carry an EpiPen now?
Yes.
I figured.
Well, and that's one of the biggest keys is knowing that you're allergic to this now. A lot of times people will be allergic and they won't necessarily know what it is too. So I'm glad you at least know that you're allergic to this, and carrying that EpiPen can potentially save.
Even though you can look at her hair right now, she's still using those other products, still putting weave in her hair. She has not learned her lesson. She figured out what it was and she tried to avoid it, but to keep going off in sin, putting wickedness or a plague in her head. She don't know where that product came from that she got dangling from her head right now. She does not know where it come from. What is it made out of? She probably read the package to see if it had PPD in it, but other than that, she did not give a damn. She went and spent her hard-earned money to try to add a false sense of beauty to her life.
Of your life. I appreciate you sharing this story with us. It also highlights to me something that you talk about a lot, which is a little patch test. Anytime you're using a new product, whether it's skin product, hair product, right? Little patch test, see what happens over the course of 10, 15 minutes.
If there's any question of whether you may have allergic reaction to it, do that test first, maybe in back of the ear, somewhere like that, and you'll see. But this is just another example of how you can get in trouble at the beauty salon. You know, whether it's manicures, pedicures, getting your hair done, hair colored, you have to know who's doing this, and that you have to understand that there's potential downsides if things aren't done properly.
Hey, Dr. Orton, what are you doing next Wednesday?
I'm having a mani-pedi with you.
That's all we want out of that foolishness. But anyway, the whole point of it is these hair relaxers, hair dyes, they are detrimental to our sisters. And that's just one aspect that they showed in this video. There are a lot more, I put it that way, that our people don't understand or know about. But we do these things blindly. For what reason? Most of our sisters can't even give a real reason. And now our brothers are doing the same thing. They doing it with their beards. For what? What are you trying to mask? What are you trying to hide? If you 50 years old, hey, you 50 years old, brother. Let the beard grow. Let the white or the gray grow like it's supposed to be. Stop trying to hide who you are to try to blend in with a wicked society. That's what's wrong with our nation. We are scared to be individuals. We are scared to be who we were created to be. And we want to look like this guy that's on the screen who got makeup on, probably got Botox, stained his teeth, or what do you call it? Bleached his teeth, bleached his skin, all type of madness just to look a certain way to get on TV and present a lie to you. These are the things that we got to escape. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. It said, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Well, we are lost people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The gospel is hid for a particular time. Verse 4, it says, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them who believe not. So Satan, Lucifer, Esau has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. So the whole job of Satan, the devil, is to blind you, sisters, brothers. Mainly, we talking to the sisters today, but his whole job and purpose is to blind you from reality. Blind you to the fact that you need this in order to work for them, to be oppressed by them. You know, put a false image of beauty on these beauty supply stores to think that that's true beauty. They dress the women up a certain way like puppets or like Barbie dolls on the damn TV for the music videos and movies. And you say that that's how I want to be because everybody's watching that movie and giving her praise. So you try your best to go to these stores and emulate what you see on TV and in the magazines. But that's a false image of beauty, once again. Who does that? Satan, Esau, the other nations who are ruling over this world. Because according to Job 9:24, what does it say? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's what it's talking about when it says, in whom the God of this world have blinded. It's a lowercase g. So we ain't talking about the Most High. It said the God of this world, Satan. He ruling this world right now. He is in control right now. You know, controlling the media, the music, what you see on TV, what you're taught in school, what you watch on the TV, what you listen to in your own home. Who you think controlling it? Understand what's going on. You've been blinded to the fact that you are true royalty, Israel, daughters of Zion, daughters of Sarah. So it's no need for you to be flocking and running to these beauty supply stores to get wigs and weave, especially them multicolored wigs. Ridiculous. But I'm going to keep going. Let me go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. Because I'm guaranteeing a lot of sisters have known that these products do damage, but they still buy it anyway. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 28, verse 15. And it reads, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death and with hell, are we at agreement? When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. So you're making covenants with death by doing these things and not even realizing. How you say, how is that possible? Because the Lord never told you to put these wigs and weaves on you in your head. Not one time will you find that in the scriptures. He never told you to dye your hair. That's not in the scriptures. He never told you to trust in oppression. He told you to trust in him. And don't lean on your own understanding, according to Proverbs 3 and 5. He told you to be humble, meek, submissive. What are you doing today? The complete opposite. Who told you that? This guy right here. These people right here. Who you look up to. Who you try to go and get your education from, your degrees from, your jobs from, your benefits from. These people who tell you not to follow the Most High, not to follow your God. You trust in death when you following them. Why? Because they are that pale rider that was on that horse, and hell and death follow wherever they go. Just look throughout history. All over the world where they rule, their influence is there. Destruction and hell is there. Think about it. All over the world, any place that you can think of, they have left hell and death behind them. And we choose to follow behind them. We want to marry them, lay down and start families with them. The Lord say, separate from your enemies. We say we don't have enemies. The Lord said, I gave you everything that you need to be beautiful. You said, nah, I like what he said. I'm going to shave everything off that you gave me, Lord. I'm going to draw it back on my face. I gave you nails. No, I don't like them. I want the fake that they gave me, that they allowed me to have, that they want to put on my hand. Foolishness. I want the eyelashes, the wonton eyes to attract somebody. Every sister doing that, wanting that, loving that. Where are you getting with it? Is our society being built up? Is your lives any better? No. False image of beauty, and you trust in falsehoods. Think about these things. From there, let's go to Isaiah 30 and 1. The book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 1, and it reads, woe to the rebellious children. Rebellious how? You tell them, keep the commandments. They say the hell with that. The Lord sent prophets after prophet after prophet to warn the people. They say the hell with that. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So when you got relationship problems, you don't know how to raise your children, you know, you're having problems dealing with your husband or dealing with your family, just dealing with your own thoughts in your own mind. The Lord said, they take counsel, but not of me. I'm the one who created them. They don't want my counsel. They want to lean on their own understanding and what they see from this man, what they see in the neighborhood, what they hear in the music. That's where they take their counsel from, thinking they can do it all on their own. Or this is really beauty, because somebody whistling at me, sucking it. They trusting it. They loving it because that's what they see on TV. They take counsel everywhere else but of the Most High. It said, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. You go get more and more blonde wigs, more and more fake nails, more and more eyelashes, more and more seductive and revealing clothing to go against everything that the Most High created you to be. And you wonder why your life is not changing for the betterment. We, as a nation of people, have to put these things down and separate ourselves in order to be built back up so that we can be restored and those breaches that damage us or have plagued us will be closed up. We got to come back to the Most High. Till we realize that, you can guarantee it's going to get a lot worse. Understand that. But from there, let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. 1 Thessalonians. Bear with me. Let me get there. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 8. Says, he, therefore, that despiseth not man, but Yahweh, who have also given unto us his Holy Spirit. So you hear the brothers, or you're hearing us bring this truth out. You're not despising us. We just the messengers. He woke us up to see what's really going on. We trying to save our brothers and sisters, mainly you sisters today, in this video, trying to save you and wake you up to what's really going on, that these other nations don't give a damn about you. Even though they greet you every time you come in their store, even though they might give you a discount, even though they might give you a free time to get your hair done, a free spa day, a free wig, that does not mean that they give a damn about you. Hell, the drug dealer will give you a free sample for what? So you'll come back and get more. Understand that. But it says, he therefore that despiseth not man, but Yahweh, but God. So you hating the messenger thinking you getting your point across. Nah, you hating the Most High because he the one sent us to correct you, to give you understanding so that you can hopefully change your ways. When you say to hell with that, you're not hurting me. Well, you are. You're not hurting us, but you are. You disrespecting, you despising the Most High. Leaning on your own understanding, chasing after a false sense of beauty that does nothing for you, your family, or your nation. Got to drive this point home day in and day out to our sisters. You know, from there, let's go to Jeremiah 13 and 25. Jeremiah 13, 25. I'm going to get his ugly butt or get his ass out of the screen here in a second. Go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 25, and it reads, this is thy lot, the portion of thy measures from me, saith the Lord, because thou hast forgotten me and trust in falsehood. Trust in falsehood because you've forgotten the Most High. Even though you in these churches jumping up and down with your big hats on or your revealing clothing, you have forgotten about the Most High. You know nothing about what he stands for, what he speaks on, but you say you got a personal relationship with him. Understand you don't know who he is until you open the book and read. Understand these things. And I'm going to show you another video just to show you how you have forgotten about him. We must come back. It's not a joke. It's nothing to try to discourage our sisters, but we're trying to break down these strongholds that plague us as a nation in order to get your mind right, because you need to hear these things. And that's what's wrong with our people and our sisters mainly, because for the most part, Esau had made it where nobody will say anything to you to correct you. Therefore, you run around like a child or a chicken with a head cut off, doing whatever you want to, thinking it's what's best for you. It's the worst thing or the farthest thing from the truth. But I'm going to show you this video as well. Going into hair dyes and relaxers again.
Welcome, my friends. Breaking news today. Breaking news about your health and your hair. A surprising new study is linking hair dye and chemical straighteners to cancer, especially breast cancer. Women all over the globe are panicked, and they're seriously questioning whether these products can affect their health.
Did you hear what he said? Putting a hair dye or relaxing your hair can be linked to cancer, even to breast cancer. you should be asking yourself, well, how the hell something that go in my head end up in my damn chest, causing cancer? That's how destructive these products are. But our sisters don't want to hear the truth. They'll log off, they'll suck their teeth, stretch their neck, pump their fists, all these things, turn the video off just because they don't want to hear the truth. But you're going to hear it today.
Worse yet, the study found an even more alarming disparity. The increased risk of breast cancer was significantly higher in Black women. For many women, hair color and style are significant components of identity. I get it. So he invited women who dye their hair to the studio for a salon talk.
He said the probability of catching these cancers are significantly higher in Black women, Israelite women, daughters of Zion, daughters of Sarah. Listen to what they're saying.
We got a hair expert, Curly Nikki Walton. She's there. She'll chaperone us. And via Zoom, we're live in salons all over the country. Now, I want to share the information, get your questions. And kick it all off, I've got family practitioner Jen Caudle. Dr. Caudle did a deep dive into this study. So what did we find out about the chemical ingredients in these hair products and what they can do to a woman's health?
Right. So we know that hair care products have thousands of chemicals in them. And interesting.
This sister said they got thousands of chemicals in them. Thousands. But our people still flocking in there to get this. Thousands of chemicals. And the crazy thing about it, the sister still got it on her head, even though she know this information. Thousands of chemicals. She steady putting this mess on her head. She probably bald head. And that's a curse from the Most High. We'll get to that later. But listen to what she got to say.
Interestingly enough, that we know some of these hair care products actually have carcinogens that may impact breast cancer risk, may have endocrine disruptors. These are chemicals called endocrine disruptors. And we know that Black hair products may have more sort of hormonally active chemicals than other hair care products. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of stuff that we need to look into.
How much does the racial disparity concern you?
Let me just be honest with you. It concerns me a lot. As a Black woman who, honestly, I straighten my hair, I dye my hair. When I read this stuff.
We are not Black. Understand that, my people. We are the Israelites. Black is a color in a crayon box. We are Israelites, becoming many shapes, forms, and fashions, many colors and blends. But we are not Black. Understand that.
Study, I was actually blown out of the water and quite concerned, quite honestly, and shocked, to be honest with you. The researchers in the study really wanted to understand if there was a connection between the use of chemical straighteners and hair dyes and breast cancer risk. They looked at over 46,000 women over a mean of 8.3 years or so. What they found was that in white women who used permanent hair dye, white women had a 7% increased risk of breast cancer. But in Black women had an increased risk of breast cancer of 45% if they use permanent hair dye.
Oh, my goodness.
45%. And this blows my mind. Now, look, I have to say, though, this was not a cause.
Did you hear what she just said? 45% increase at risk of catching cancer than the other nations. Something going on right there. Somebody created that to do that. That's a curse. But our people still flock to it, even though it's more deadly toward us than it is the other nations. Just like eating abominable foods. You ever see why it's killing us a lot earlier than it's killing anybody else? Eating swine, eating shellfish. Esau still living to be damn near 60, 70 years old or older, eating abominable foods, but we dying younger and younger. Because the Most High set up laws to govern us. And if we don't want, matter of fact, let me get there. Amos 3:1. The book of Amos, chapter 3:1. Because our people are always trying to compare themselves to the other nations. We are not like them. We are above them, special. But let me get this. The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the house or the children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. That's why we getting punished. That's why the cancer rate is higher with us than anybody else, because when we break the commandments, he has to show us that we are his children. But our people still reject it, still want to go out and do what they want to do. Why? Because the God of this world has blinded you. Blinded you. Where you're walking around in darkness, trying to find your way home. Not even home, just trying to find your way. Lost. Dead to the world. Those dry bones once again. But I'm going to keep playing it.
Cause and effect study. This is a study that shows an association, so we can't prove cause and effect here. But honestly, I've said this before, I say it again, I'm very passionate. I'm a Black woman who does these things to my hair very regularly. This, for me...
She admits to doing it regularly, even though it got thousands of chemicals in it. She admits to doing it. Foolishness.
Is cause for concern and cause for us to really look further into this. Very important.
Yeah, 67 times.
And don't take these sisters and be like, well, y'all do this, y'all do that. No. Take the correction. Listen to what's going on to help change and mold your life in a better way. Don't be with the point the finger mentality. Listen to learn. That's what the sister is on the show doing, trying to teach you, show you, give you understanding as to what's going on. Don't take this as they don't want us to be beautiful. They don't want us to be unique. They don't want us to live out. They just want to control us. No, listen to what these people are creating to destroy you. They're not trying to help you. No shape, form, or fashion. They are trying to destroy you, kill you, knock you off. Understand these things. Your man is not trying to kill you. We trying to enlighten you, correct you, get you back in line, in alignment with us and the Most High. Stop letting the damn beast, the devil, the Satan of this world, the God of this world, keep corrupting your mind. Listen to what she's saying.
Higher chance. So come on over. We actually got the authors of the study via Zoom. Dale Sanders is a PhD. There she is, Dr. Sander. So what exactly does the study tell us about hair dye and breast cancer?
So this is exactly correct. That there are thousands of chemicals in the hair dyes and chemical straighteners, and some of them do cause potential concern for cancer risk. The association with permanent dye differed by race, with about a 7% higher increase in the relative risk for white women and a 45% increase in risk for the Black women. The association with chemical straighteners, though, didn't vary by race, which was reassuring in some regard, because but what we do know is that Black women are much more likely to use these products than white women.
Dr. Sandler, thank you very much.
You heard it straight out the horse mouth. They know who's going to use the product. When they advertise it, who do they put on there? Our system. They know who will use it. They know who hates their self, who hates their own hair, who hates the image of God that you were created in. So they know who it will damage more. They don't care about knocking their own people off, but their main objective is to knock us off. It's always been that way. That's why in our neighborhoods, we got the worst restaurants, the worst grocery stores, the worst schools, the highest rates of crime, the highest rates of poverty, because they know what it takes to kill us and knock us off. But the Most High will not let that happen to his people, his chosen. That's why it's important for us to come back, and a small remnant will be left in order to show that light and to magnify the word of the Lord. And that's what we're striving to do today. But that's all I wanted to get out of that video. And just to show you, as a matter of fact, let me play on.
So women everywhere have been asking lots of concerning questions since the study was released. Let's get to the salon goers. You're all sitting here patiently waiting. So, Karen, this hit home for you, I understand.
Yes, it does, Dr. Oz. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I'm also the mom of 7-year-old twins. And so before I got cancer, I dyed my hair religiously every 4 weeks. But having breast cancer has really made me think about what's important, and that's my family. And if modifying my hair regimen in any way can help me stay around, I want to do it.
You see that? She realized once she got that, life is more important. She survived it, so-called, survived breast cancer. She realized her family more important than dying her damn hair, going and buying wigs and weaves. She realized what's in stake, and that's of the other nations. And she was willing to make that change. But the sister who came on the show with the blue dress on does it religiously, just like she said, but she's still continuing to do it. She got the wig on her head right now. This is a wake-up call to you, sisters. A public service announcement. Stop with the foolishness. Come back home. We love you. We miss you over here.
Nothing's more important than being with those 7-year-old twins, though.
Yes, Thomas and Sienna, my loves, and my husband, John.
They don't care about your hair color, which we'll come back to in a second.
You see that? They don't care. Just like we don't care, sisters. We want the natural back. We want you back in your natural state. Being a mother, being a wife, being submissive, being a pillar of rest, loving yourself, loving your family, loving your people. Nobody cares about the color of your hair or the length or the texture of the weave or the wig. Nobody cares about that. Stop following behind madness and folly and come back home.
So Nikki, from a hair perspective, what does this mean for us? What stood out about the study?
So for me, to see that Black women were the least likely to use permanent hair dyes, they were also like more significantly affected by breast cancer, like tremendously so. And that's a concern because for all the markets, like in the world, the hair care market is the most racially segregated, and the products that are marketed and manufactured for Black women can vary drastically for the ones that are marketed and manufactured for white women and other groups. So these ingredients sometimes can be carcinogenic, mutagenic, and endocrine disrupting, and that is a major concern.
So hairstylist Deanna in Fort Myers has a question for us. Take it away.
Dr. Cuddle, my question is, if my clients have a family history of breast cancer, is it more dangerous for me to use hair dye?
That's a really, really great question.
Now, before they get into their foolishness, they say a family history of breast cancer. Just like they say a family history of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease. These things are not passed down. What is passed down is your ability to teach or walk in sin. That is what the family curse or the hereditary things or the genetic plagues that are passed down. Because your parents, your grandparents, they're not teaching or telling us as a nation of people that we're not supposed to be eating abominable foods or putting chemicals in our head or trusting in the enemy. Therefore, we continue to do these things generation after generation. So when grandma had high blood pressure, went from eating swine, hog maws, and bacon every damn day, they never thought to realize it was what I was eating versus it being in the family or in the bloodline. So she doing it, she feeding her child grow up doing the same thing and pass it down, keep feeding the child, and the generation keeps on, keep on. I might have said that wrong, but you understand what I'm saying. Keep passing on sin, wicked traditions to the next generation to come. That's where you get high blood pressure and heart disease from. It's not something that's born in the family. It's you passing on wicked knowledge and doctrines. That's how these things happen. So that's the answer to that. Come back to serving the Most High, keeping His commandments, you'll do away with those things. Understand that, my people. But from now, we're going to go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 30. Because as the Edomite said, she understood that her hair dye, her hair color didn't matter anymore. What really mattered was her family, her children, her husband. That's what mattered. So she said, the hell with that. I'm not going back to the beauty supply store to waste money, to damn be oppressed, to be lied to. I'm going to read this to you. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 30. And it reads, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. She shall be praised. Beauty is vain. Because a lot of our people don't even know what true beauty is. They think beauty is just having curly hair, bouncy hair, long hair. That's not beauty. You can have a pretty face or a cute face, but you got all this abomination on it. You're an ugly person then, not even realize. Had this gorgeous face, but you put an abomination in your head every morning you wake up. And the crazy thing about it is a lot of sisters take better care of the wig or the weave than they do their own hair. They'll put a damn wave cap on their head and take the damn wig and be brushing it, washing it, blow drying it, curling it, but they won't do it to their own damn head. Put a damn cap on it. And then blow dry the damn weed, comb it out, be on the phone with their girlfriends. Yeah, girl, combing it, but you won't comb or brush or wash your own damn hair. Then you turn around, throw that hat on them. It's wicked as hell. False sense of beauty. And I blame a lot of you brothers as well, because you hollering at these sisters and you don't tell them the truth. Just because they walking around with tight pants showing you what you want to see, you ain't gonna tell them the truth just because you want to get your rocks off. You know, even in your own household, you'll lie to your wife just so you ain't got to hear them out. That's weak as hell. Stand up and be real men. Tell them the truth. Command them to come back to serving the Lord. Stop letting them go off in folly and madness. Let them know the truth. Stop being weak. But anyway, sisters, like I said, beauty is vain. You're going to get old one day. But you still want to have that long, luscious hair that the Most High created for you. You still want to be able to die, or not die, but take care of your own hair so you can show the youth coming up how to take care of their hair, how to do their own hair. Because the generation I came up in, sisters, they used to comb their head. They came up, they started wearing weave. Now you see it in the children. They don't want to do the kids' hair. Now the kids got damn micro braids in their head for 4 or 5 months because you don't know how to do hair. You don't want to take time out your hair, out your schedule to do your own child's hair. We got to come out of that. Beauty is vain. You want to be beautiful on the inside as well. And not even knowing or understanding what comes with these relaxers, dyes, wigs, and weaves. These are destructive manners or wicked inventions that the other nations have devised against our people. Matter of fact, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3. Most High gave you everything that you need, but you don't want it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 3. With whose beauty, if they, being delighted, took them to be gods. So the other nation, when they seen us, or seen our women dressed to a T, dressed in all they beautiful array, beautiful garments, they took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is. For the first author of beauty have created them. The Most High created us. He set us aside from everybody else. I'm going to make this nation special. They going to glorify me. I'm going to make them better in everything. They're going to look better than any of these other nations. But for some odd reason, our sisters went backwards. And I'm going to show you why. Let's go to the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10. Why did these things happen? How? I'm going to show you a quick instance in the scriptures where these things happen. Let's go to the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10. 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10. I'm going to give you a little background history right quick. This is 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he had reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So this was a Greek ruler. All right, I'm going to jump over to verse 20. It said, and after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in 143rd year, 43rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. So when Antiochus took over, he went to go take down Egypt again. After he took down Egypt, he came over to try to take down Israel. Verse 21, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the showbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the vial and the crowns and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasure which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. So this man came to Jerusalem to make war, to wage war against us. But he ended up taking all of our jewels, our precious ornaments, treasures, things of that nature. And he went back to his own land, and it says, therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel. in every place where there were, so that the princes and the elders mourned. The virgins and the young men were made feeble. Virgins meaning the women, and the young men were made feeble. Feeble meaning weak. And it says, and the beauty of women was changed. So after this brother, or after Antiochus Epiphanes came to take over Jerusalem and robbed us, the beauty of women was changed. Matter of fact, let's go to 2 Maccabees 4:15. The image or the beauty of women was changed. Hard to believe, huh? But let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 15. And it says, not setting by the honors of our fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So after a Greek ruler took over, we started to love their ways, their custom, their traditions. And it said, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all, not setting the honor of our fathers. We say the hell with being an Israelite. We want to be Greek. The hell with keeping the laws. We want to follow the ways of the Grecians. And it says, verse 16, by reason whereof sore calamity came upon them, curses, for they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose customs they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things. You see that? So we started loving the ways of the Grecians, so-called white man. So-called white man. Started loving their ways. Well, we were chasing after that. What it said, follow so earnestly. Followed it to a T. Oh, you wear your hair in a ponytail? I'm going to wear mine in a ponytail. Yours is stringy? I'm going to make mine stringy. I'm going to put it up in a white girl ponytail. Following their traditions earnestly. And our people don't want to hear the truth. But we're going to give it to you nonetheless. I got, let me go to 1 Corinthians 11:5. 1 Corinthians 11:5. Is that what I want? 11:15, excuse me. Says, but if a woman have long hair, it is the glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. So the glory of a woman is her hair. She glorified that thing. But you glorifying it today in the wrong manner, chasing after the oppressor, and don't even know what you're doing. Understand that. I'm going to show you another video I guarantee you sisters don't know nothing about. If you're new to this truth, you probably have never heard this, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. This should make you stop going to these damn stores when you see this.
Tirupati Tirumala Temple in southern India, the most visited holy place in the world. 40 to 50 million pilgrims visit every year. It is also one of the largest collectors of human hair in the world, 500 tons a year.
They collect human hair in India.
Most of the virgin hair weaves and wigs worn in Africa and the world originate here. It is considered a virtue for Indian women to have long hair, a sign of great beauty.
A sign of great beauty. They cutting their hair off. Look at that.
So why are they giving it up? Sacrificing hair to the gods is...
Sacrificing what? Hair to the gods. The same hair that you buying, sisters. That Peruvian, that Brazilian, so you think they're Remy. That hair is being sacrificed to God before it's even put in your head. Understand that.
Thought to bring good luck.
வேலைக்கு போகலன்னா பெருசா வேலைக்கு போனால் தான் நமக்கு காசுலாம் கஷ்டம் இருக்காது. வேலைக்கு போனால் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? கூடி வேலைக்கு போகிறது கிடையாது, பசங்க சரி கிடையாது.
A lot of sisters will be like, I can't even use another sister comb to put in my head, but you putting somebody else's hair in your head. Think about how backwards that is. Think about how you think about using somebody else's toothbrush. You don't know what these folks doing, how long it take them to grow their hair. It don't even matter. The fact that they cutting it off, offering and sacrificing it to God, and you taking it and putting it in your head. That's backwards. That's foolishness. That's how you being blinded in this world. And they know that, and they gonna show it in this video.
நடிக்கணும்னு நடிக்கல. சரி கோயிலுக்கு வேண்டியது இருந்தோம். சரி எப்படி இருந்தாலும் கோயிலுக்கு தானே கொடுத்துட்டு போறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்லுங்க. கோயிலுக்கு வர சொல்லியா? அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை, சாமிக்கு வந்து பார்த்துட்டு போவோம். அதை நம்பிக்கை தான், அவ்வளோதான். நம்ம கோயிலுக்கு போனால் நல்லா இருக்கும், நம்ம எதுவும் சாமிக்கு வேண்டியது வந்தால் நல்லா இருக்கும். ஒரு மனசு நிம்மதிக்காக வந்து போவோம்.
And I want to point out the fact that they people are in order, where all the sisters are wearing dresses. All of them are wearing dresses. But our women, they want to fight the cause. I feel comfortable in my pants. And you sound just like that when you say it. Foolishness. Come back home, sisters.
What did it feel like when the barber was shaving your head?
முடி கட் பண்ண சொல்ல கொஞ்சம் பாரம் கொஞ்சம் மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. அப்புறம் இந்த பக்கம் கட் பண்ண சொல்ல கொஞ்சம் லேஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு. கை புருவெல்லாம் எல்லாமே லேஸா இருக்கு.
It is not just temple hair that is collected.
Did you see that? I want to show you something. If I can
Just temple hair.
Let me pull it back just a little bit. Look at what it says. Comb waste. Comb waste. This is from them combing their head. And it gets stuck in the damn comb or the brush. They take it off and they bag it up. Check it out. Do you have any comb
It is
waste?
not just temple hair that is collected.
You see that? That same hair is going to the factory to be woven into a weave pattern to be sold to you. That's the stuff coming out of their head when they damn combing it. You won't comb your hair, but you'll turn around and put their hair in their head, in your head, that they combing out with the comb and bagging it up and getting paid for it. You won't comb your hair though.
150
Yes.
rupees. Okay. So not bad. Is she happy?
சந்தோஷமா உங்களுக்கு காசு கொடுத்தது கிடைச்சது happy.
It's a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, so literally most of this hair comes from Tirupati temple.
It comes from Tirupati temple plus the other temples also. Majorly 80% of the hair comes from Tirupati temple.
So it's a lot of hair.
Absolutely.
How many tons a month?
Roughly around 10 to 15 tons a month only from Tirupati.
So here we've got the steam curly section.
That's right.
This is how your weave is made. Your wigs, they cut it off and sit down at damn sewing machines. Well, I don't even know what you call it. Weaving stations.
This is what's particularly popular in Africa, yeah?
Absolutely. Among the Afro population across the world.
It's a very labor-intensive process.
It is.
So
it
she's
is.
winding the hair
Yeah.
around a metal stick, and then she's rubber banding it. And then what happens after that?
After that, it goes for steam process.
Steaming in a steam machine.
A steam machine.
A steam machine. After they weave it up, it go into a steam machine. Listen.
And that keeps the curl.
It keeps the curls.
I have seen.
Listen to this guy.
My future is in Africa, because I have seen hundreds of African women. When they come into our shop, I see the eyes gleaming with happiness, and they see so much hair. Their joys, you can't see how joyful they are, because they think their beauty is enhanced by this wearing this hair phenomenally.
You see that? He said they think that their beauty is enhanced by this product. He said that's phenomenal. In his mind, he's saying, I can't believe you. Matter of fact, let me get that in Lamentations right quick. That's horrible right there. That our sisters would think that that's beautiful. That's horrible. Let me see. Yeah, the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 16. I'm going to start at 15. Says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we have looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Just like he was saying, he's shaking his head and sucking his teeth. That's phenomenal. We can make a killing. They don't know that this is sacrifice to gods. They don't know that this comes from other women's head. They don't even give a damn. Look how their eyes light up because they think that this is going to make them beautiful. This is what you got to think about, Israel. Daughters of Zion, daughters of Sarah. You got to understand that these other nations know how to make money off of you, but you can't make money off of them. You cannot make money off of them. When you talk about making a business, you're not making no business off of them. They don't come to us for their product. We going to them. Think about that. But you got a mom and pop store, a soul food restaurant, a chicken shop. Are they coming in there? Are the East Indians coming in there to buy chicken from you? Are they coming to buy T-shirts from you? Cars from you? Are they coming to get houses, banking, financing from you? Hell no. But we going to them. Is the Chinese man coming and buying from us? No. This should jog your memory. It should slap the hell out of you and make you wake up to realize that these other nations plot against you day in and day out to extort you and to keep you on the bottom while destroying you. They say you a false image of beauty and you take it and run with it. Meanwhile, you're starting to look more and more like drag queens as time goes on. But can't nobody tell you nothing. This video was not meant to destroy our sisters, but to shock the hell out of them, to give them information, to help them to understand, to be rebuked first. So then you can accept the correction, to make change, to come back to who you truly are and stop following the ways of this world. You know? Matter of fact, let's go to Amos 5 and 15 right quick. Book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 15. And it reads, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. So you got to hate the evil, hate the wickedness of this world, hate the fact that these other nations set up in your neighborhoods, our neighborhoods, all around the world to exploit us and destroy us. You got to hate that evil, that they sell you the abominable foods that the Most High told you not to eat. And they make it or have you perceive it as something that's a luxury or a delicacy. You got to hate that evil, knowing who you are and what these other nations are geared toward doing towards you, not to help you, but to destroy you. It says establish the good or love the good and establish judgment. You should love keeping the commandments. You should love taking care of your own health, loving who you truly are. Loving that you are part of the nation that was chosen above all, that you are great in all aspects of life. You got to establish judgment in the gate. That it may be, hold on, let me read. It may be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant so that we can have that grace from the Most High that all these Christian churches is talking about. We under grace. We under grace. Nah, you establishing good, hating the evil so that you can get some grace to getting yourself and your nation back together to doing what we supposed to be doing, which is serving Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. I'm not going to go on too much, but I just need to let you sisters know and you brothers, get your houses in order. Get yourself together. Stop running from the truth and embrace it. That's the only way we're going to get back to where we're supposed to be. And it starts with you as well as the men. So don't be ashamed of that. Be proud of the fact or be excited, passionate about the fact that you're an Israelite. You need to hold yourself at a higher standard, a higher level of living. And on that note, I'm your brother Ananias for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And I say shalom to you.